Just getting back from the Kanye West concert, and it was great. It really was. When I decided to go to the concert, I knew that I would have to think of this not as a traditional rap concert. I knew that this was going to be a production. Wasn't a concert, it would be an event. And that is how I had to think of things. And that is how I came into it a little bit more open-minded probably than others. And I'm glad that I did. Because that is the reason why I enjoyed it so much. The production was great. People forget that Kanye is a college dropout, not a high school dropout. I'm sure he took a theater class or something, or he has the good sense to try to learn about his trade and learn about things that he likes. He claims he's creative. He had very long rants about how creative he is. So I would expect that someone that is that creative would actually sit down and make a production like that. And it was good. It was really, truly good. Of course, there were times of lull, like there were times that people were sitting down because a lot of people just didn't like Yeezus. Point blank, period. A lot of people just did not like Yeezus. I was not a fan of Yeezus, and I'm a Kanye West fan. I am a fan of Kanye West. I have always been a fan of Kanye West. Kanye West is in my top 5. I love Kanye West. It was one of the best concerts I've been to, especially from a production sense. Especially from that sense. And I'm saying that because I did not go to Glow in the Dark tour. I would genuinely believe that the Glow in the Dark tour was better musically than Yeezus, but I promise you that Yeezus was better production wise. I mean, it was awesome. He really thought that through. He actually gave us about 15 extra minutes of show in Rant because he rapped for 2 hours, but he had a solid 10 minutes in Rant. And I actually have a video of that I will be posting. So watch that if you really want to see something great, ingenious, and angry. After his All of the Lights, Flashing Lights mashup, and he went off. He went off. I actually have links to that as well, but he went off. He said, "When I walk, I make the sidewalk happy." He screamed that. It was so great. It was so great. He is tired of people thinking he's crazy and thinking he's out of his mind and thinking that he's only saying things just to say them. And the rants he gave made you actually feel that way for him because he's not dumb. He's a genius. Even though it may be arrogant and people do not like that he tells people that he's a genius, but he is. He is. And he deserves his accolades and he deserves all of it. And people need to start remembering that. Now, he's been doing things that make people question his greatness, like that awful Bound 2 video. But honestly, Kanye is a genius. And I stand behind that. Not just because I'm a Kanye West fan, Not just because I'm his fan, but because I am a hip hop fan. And just because people don't really get along with Yeezus, and just because people didn't really like what he was saying, just because of that does not stop or change. And he said this, it does not change the fact that he made college dropout, late registration, graduation, 808 heartbreaks, my twisted dark fantasy. He gave you all of that. And he gave you Blueprint. And he gave you Blueprint 3. And he gave you Watch the Throne. He gave you all of that. All of it. So he's still a genius. And he actually does deserve those accolades. He really, truly does. I really wish Kanye would see this. I honestly wish Kanye would see this because I stand for you. Okay, Kanye. Now, you are on my list just like Beyonce is on my stand list, meaning that I am a realist with you. And when you do things that I don't like, or things that you do I don't like, I will say that I don't like it. I will not say that you are always right. But I will always tell people how great you are. And if anybody ever talks down about you, I will tell them why you are this great. Kanye, you're quite awesome. But like I said, overall, the concert was great. The concert was great. And I am happy I went. I'm very happy that I went. It was great. I talked a lot of shit about it 2 days ago. I talked a lot of shit. But that was for a good reason, because Kanye had gotten a little out of pocket and I was quite afraid that he was going to do something crazy. I was quite afraid he was going to do something crazy. But then I thought about it. Kanye West is a genius and I've seen him live before. And so I trust him. I trusted that it would be good. That's why I bought the tickets, even though some things have put a little bit of doubt in my mind. And Kanye, I'm sorry. I apologize. It was everything I wanted. It had some things that I didn't like. It had some things I didn't agree with. But it was a play. It was a production. It was an event. So that is why I took it for what it was. And I'm glad that I saw it because it was well done. It was well done. And Kanye knows his stuff, because when the lights were wrong, he gave his hand and they cut those lights off. And when they had his face too large on the screen, he said the screen's too large. Set it right in the middle. And they went on ahead and fixed it because he knew what he wanted it to be. And he knew what he wanted us to see. And that is why I understand why he postponed the shows. I understand it now because that screen was integral to his show. And he said that. And it really, truly was. So it was needed. So if anybody is upset that he postponed your show, please still go to the next show. Please still go, because it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Especially if you are a real Kanye fan. If you are just going because you want to go to an event that people are going to, then that's different. Maybe you won't like it as much as I did, to be honest. But as a Kanye West fan, and most importantly, as a music fan and a production fan and a theater fan and a movie fan, I appreciated how much work was put into the production of that show and the tech of that show and the thought. So because of that, that was one of the best concerts I've ever been to. And he was great. He was actually interacting with the crowd. He was touching hands. He was smiling. He was a lot happier than the last time I saw him at Watch the Throne. Watch the Throne, I was front row. Front row. I was looking at Jay-Z and Jay-Z was looking at me, and I was rapping words and he was rapping words, and it was awesome. But Kanye wasn't as in tune to people as Kanye was, especially towards the end. Because yes, he did have a mask on, but that didn't even matter because it came off. You really thought he was going to do an entire show with a mask on, really? I mean, he did a long time with the mask on, but I knew he was going to take the mask off eventually. And he did. So he was great. He interacted. He touched people. He smiled. He waved. He always told DC how much he loved us, and always incorporated our names. He was even saying Tacoma Park. He was being a lot more just nice. I mean, he's a different man than he was 2 years ago. And that was very apparent because at Watch the Throne, they weren't touching hands. They weren't being like, oh, my fans are close to me. Like, they weren't like that. And he was doing that this time, and I really, truly appreciated it. And he also gave us an awesome, awesome show. He gave us a great show. Great show. So thank you.